tonight with a hallowed Lombardi trophy in the building. It's a battle to raise it at midfield between the Atlanta Falcons and the Cincinnati Bengals. A very unique opportunity coming our way tonight. Hi there, everyone. Kate Scott, Brock Heward up here in the booth, and we are guaranteed to see a first-time Super Bowl champion in just a few hours. Only a handful of teams have failed to win it just yet, and two of them are hoping to change that tonight.
And normally, Kate, that'd be an advantage, right? A team so hungry for that first title, facing someone who's done it before, but that is not the circumstance tonight. And you could just feel it. You could feel it from this fan base on both sides, these players. They want it so badly to do something never done before.
On the road, it is 1st and 10. Pretty throwing here to start. Into the hands of Pickett. The 30. Gets the 10. He makes it in for the Cincinnati touchdown. The Bengals take a 6-0 lead right away. George Pickens the touchdown. Extra point added on by McPherson. And the Bengals will jump out to a 7-0 lead. Here's McPherson on to handle the kickoff. Fields this one at the 3. And that's going to set them up just beyond their own 20. Offense showing trips out right as they get set for this 1st and 10. Hurts comes out throwing. He's going to push one deep down the road. His first throw is an interception. That's Julian Blackman. And the Bengals take over after forcing the first turnover of this ballgame. What a call for their first pass of the game. It would have been a big hitter if they completed it, Brock, but just not the right touch on that football, and it ends with an interception.
You could just tell these cover guys, they've been waiting for their first chance to go get some work done in this one. They did their homework, number 1. And number 2, Kate, as Russell Wilson loves to say, the separation was in the preparation.
2nd and 10. Again, it's Purdy. Has it at the 7. He's got a Cincinnati touchdown. The Bengals get another 6 to make this a 13-0 game. George Pickens the touchdown. His 2nd scoring catch of the game. Going after up and good by McPherson. And the Bengals drive out to an early 14-0 lead. Here's McPherson on to handle the kickoff. Return coming from the 6. And he's brought down just beyond that 25-yard line. Atlanta about ready to go now. 1st and 10. On the play fake, it's Hurts. Buying some time right. It's another first half mistake. He's intercepted again. Greg Newsome has it. So their 2nd drive ends just the way their first one did, Brock. And if you are the coach down there, man, you've got to be fuming.
Yeah, so frustrated, right? 2 drives in, you still can't get your game plan at all. Not if series are going to keep ending prematurely. You don't want to be playing behind schedule right from this.
He's got it inside the 10. Touchdown, Cincinnati. The Bengals pick it off and get points on the ensuing drive. McPherson add the point after. Extra point set right down the middle. And the Bengals push their lead to 21-zip already. Here's McPherson on to handle the kickoff. Starting from the 5. Finds some space. He's past the 30. I don't know if they're going to get to him. And he had everybody thinking 6 before they finally got to him and put an end to it.
You know, Kate, it's fun talking to these elite kick returners over the years and how much they visualize as they're sitting back there waiting for the kickoff return, they're visualizing, well, a house call. And there was some serious explosiveness from him on that one. He may not have gotten all the way to the house, but he's setting his offense up in the red zone, which is pretty darn good.
Run loss of a yard to begin the drive. Here comes 2nd and 11. Hurts. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And for the second straight play, Brock, they're headed the wrong way, and that's going to bring up a tough 3rd down. Give to Henry on the inside handoff. Well, not a chance at all as he is met at the line on this one. That's going to be 4th and very long. Matt Prater on for the field goal try. Ball on the left hash, 37 yards out. Prater puts it through. And it gets a fraction closer as the lead's down to 18.
You always feel like you leave a few points on the field when you kick it from here. But they don't wind up empty-handed on the drive. And the kicker, he gets to pad his stats a little bit. The high percentage make.
Has this at the 6. And that's going to set them up just beyond their own 20. All right, starting in the pistol this time, Brock. 1st and 10. Purdy gets this from the pistol. He throws a bullet to the center of the field. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. Torrey Horton, his intended receiver. And now they face 2nd down. Here's the first carry for Christian McCaffrey. What a hit! He gets flattened to the ground. Offensive line fast. 3rd and short. Here's Purdy. Falcons driving in, and they're going to bring him down. So Super Bowl 60, a quarter of the way done. The Bengals are out in front. More from Santa Clara coming up. Quite the brave call they're making in this situation, Brock. They're going for it on 4th. The throw outside, and they might throw this again. And nearly intercepted as that trick play almost ended in disaster. And a surprising 4th down call does not yield a first. This doesn't get there. It's a turnover on downs. An offense to the line. They're going to have trips right to start out. Running back sent in motion. On 1st down, Hurts. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And the drive begins with a rough first step there. That's going to bring up 2nd down. Hurts now from the gun. And he's not quite that fast. Let him just a bit too much. That's incomplete. David Njoku, the guy he was looking for. So they're left facing 3rd and long. 3rd and long for him here. This is a heater going deep. Oh, again, it looks like a pick, but they drop it. A chance to steal it away in the end zone, but they just can't finish the play. Prater puts it through, and that lowers the deficit to 15.
Okay, one of the areas that kickers and quarterbacks are similar, they want to get into rhythm, and no better way to feel good and get into that rhythm and start a game 2 for 2 as a kicker.
He fields it from the 8. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. Starting out trips right here. 1st and 10. the gun is Purdy. He rolls to his right. Well, his first real mistake, that's intercepted. Picked off by Malachi Starks. And he brings it back for the pick six and the Atlanta touchdown. Well, we all know getting the interception is the important thing, Brock, but how about this guy having the wherewithal to transition into a really nice return to then get the touchdown out of it, too?
Yeah, that's a great point. We talk about it with receivers, right, getting vertical right away after making a catch. Same thing for these defenders when they make a pick. They secure the football, sure, but instantly they go back to their offensive days. They want that touchdown, and they want a moment they won't forget.
Well, Brock, hopefully some short memories on offense as they get it right back here on the kickoff after that pick six. And that one bounces through the end zone for a touchback. Good starting field position awaits the Bengals as they get set for 1st and 10. After the pick, Purdy back to the air. This has been a trend, yet another interception. And the Falcons will be down inside the opposing 35 as they take over after that interception.
Well, obviously not the cleanest game with now 2 interceptions, but here's the key. This is where mental toughness for a quarterback becomes so critical. And frankly, why some of the best QBs playing today have baseball in their background, because you flush your mistakes. Okay, you strike out, you throw an interception, but you got to go get it in that next series. Got to put these interceptions behind and press forward ahead.
From the gun, a run for Henry. And they're going to be sent just outside that red zone. Now the Falcons trying to get everyone up and set here. Hurts on 1st down. Complete Derrick Henry. It's inside the 10. He's into the end zone for an Atlanta touchdown. The Falcons earn the chance to tie it before halftime. Derrick Henry, the touchdown. Prater on for the PAT. And he hits the extra points. A little surprised they wouldn't go for 2 in the tie, but at least he made it, so the lead falls to a single point. Things trim back down to a single point, Brock, as they send this off and away. Fielded at the 7. And he's out a little short of the 30. Bengals getting set, Brock. Here comes 1st and 10. Not deterred by that pick. He's throwing again. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. George Pickens, the intended target. And it sets up 2nd down. Working out of the gun, it's Purdy. Gets everything he has under this one. Oh, no, they get him yet again. Picked off by Joey Porter Jr. And the Falcons get it back after making their 3rd first-half interception.
Well, we're watching the defense not just generate turnovers, but really add to them. A return like that, think about it, that's 4 or 5 plays that you just saved your offense from as they try to make that interception yet another one count.
And he's going to work it to the 20. Drew Tranquil brings him to the ground. Throwing here, Hurts. Hits him on the out route. And this one only manages a yard before coming to an end out of bounds. It's going to be 3rd down.
Hey, Kate, you know this from covering the Seahawks, calling their preseason game. When Pete Carroll was there, if he said it once, he said it 100 times. Stay on top, stay on top, stay on top. You'll give up a short little out route like that, but just stay on top of the deep threat.
On 3rd down, it's Hurts. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. Just couldn't hang on through the contact. And it's 4th down.
You never, ever, as an offense, like 3 and outs, Kate, but you really don't like them on 3rd down when you throw into tight coverage like that. Got to manufacture a better look.
180, 180. Hey!
On 4th down, Hurts. Getting out to his left. He's going for it himself. And he goes out of bounds. That's going to set up 1st and goal.
That's it's one of those occasions when you're sitting in the pocket and you're just looking for that escape valve. And then when you get it, you get space to run, and you get a first down. That's a big bonus for the quarterback.
They'll run here with Henry. And he's in. It's an Atlanta touchdown. The Falcons get some late points and the lead. Derrick Henry, the touchdown. They kept it on the ground as opposed to airing it out, and that time, well, Brock, the ground game paid off.
Well, these great rushing attacks down here that could score rushing touchdowns, it takes the whole party getting involved. Yeah, the burst of the running back was tremendous. How about the launch of his blockers right off the line of scrimmage? That's a touchdown the entire way, and it took the entire group offensively.
Now Prater on to send it away. And that kickoff is into and then out of the end zone. So we got a touchback. This drive will start after 35. Just over 30 seconds left in the half as they come to the line. First down throw by Purdy. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. Part of what's earned him status, Brock, is one of the league's better tight ends. Are those hands, right? His dependable hands. So shouts to the defense there because he wasn't able to hang on that time.
Kate, it's one thing for these defenders to separate a receiver from the ball, but to do so on a stud tight end, that's big time. And this is why scouts talk about a player's closing speed, Kate. You know, once he senses the pressure, he's getting rid of that ball. It takes a player who can close quickly to get to him before it's released. And that sure altered the throw.
Escapes the pocket. Winds up and chucks this deep right. That's grabbed inside the 30. When this gets close to the red zone, he is inside the 25. We get a timeout now from the Bengals. That's going to be their first. First and 10 now. Here's Purdy. On the move, headed right. Oh, brother, it's another interception. Picked up by Malachi Starks. And the Falcons hit the defensive stand and come through with a turnover in the final moments of the half. They've got first and 10, Brock, but time for maybe 2 plays at most if they even want to try anything. Looking to throw. This is Cox. That's Cox. And they'll stop him here, but not before he gets out to the 47-yard line. Just before halftime, we get a timeout taken. One last play before the break. Back to throw it. Buying some time left. Get him yet again. Kicked off by Jalen Watson. That's halftime of this contest. We'll join both teams in taking a short break. More of the NFL on EA Sports in just a moment. Shades of the 2009 Super Bowl. They're going onside kick to begin the second half. Enough waiting. Let's crown a champion, shall we? The second half of the Super Bowl is underway. All right, partner, are you on board with that call we just saw? Yes, they trailed, but it's not a huge lead. It's only in the third quarter. Hold it, you jumped the gun. Now they're in a tougher spot because they didn't recover. Did you say no?
No. No.
Why not?
Because 95% of the time or so, those things fail. Why would you do that this early? No.
Moving quickly, trying to get set again. First and 10. Here's Hurts. Throwing this one back of the end zone. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. So working from the 30 as they line this up. Second and 10. Hurts to throw. He'll set up the screen for Henry. And he's going to go out of bounds just short of that red zone.
Well, this is the type of game we've come to expect from him as a runner, toting the ball, but he's just as adept at turning the screen into the same kind of yardage, too.
Back to one of his favorite targets this drive, but incomplete, and that's going to bring up fourth down. That field goal unit is still on the sidelines. They are going for this. He's back to throw. And that's going to wind up incomplete as their gamble doesn't pay off. They're going to turn this one over on downs. First call here coming from the shotgun. Target to his back. Here's Christian McCaffrey. And he'll go down after pushing this up to the 29.
That is a textbook first down completion. Sets up second and very manageable and creates space to take that shot downfield.
Taking a deep shot here. That's complete inside the 35-yard line. And he is going to take this in. Touchdown, Cincinnati. The Bengals find some points there.
I know you got to mix your looks defensively. You just can't play all zone coverage, and sometimes you got to play man-to-man. But with the receiver, with that kind of speed, that is scary, and he just made him pay.
Here's McPherson on to handle the kickoff. Return coming from the 6. He's going well so far. And nearly to the 35-yard line before he goes out of bounds. So they'll head up here, 1st and 10 from the 34. They go play fake with Hurts. Pass pulled in by Henry. And just gets back to the line of scrimmage. Moving quickly, trying to get set. This is Henry on second. Looks like we can call it about 4 yards in the end. Hit made by T.J. Edwards.
You make that call to just give yourself a fighting chance on 3rd down, Kate. Take at least a little bite of the big deal between them and the 1st down marker. And that should make this upcoming call a little less daunting.
It's across midfield. Hits the opposing territory. And they will stop him as he gets this down to their 39-yard line. Working quickly here. On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. And he's dropped. They got there for the sack. And that brings us to the end of this 3rd quarter. Hard to believe, but just 1 quarter left in our season. We're through 3 in Super Bowl 60. The Falcons have the football. Got to erase that deficit, though, to keep their title hopes alive. Following the sack needs some positive yards here. It is 2nd down and 18. Trying down the middle with Henry. And this will only complicate matters for 3rd down, partner. They're sent backwards. Well, the extra blocking sure didn't spring that run the way they hoped it would, Brock.
In the old West Coast system, you called 12 personnel, 2 tight ends, Tiger. Tiger package comes on the field. That was a whole lot more like a kitty cat effort there.
Looking to throw. He's throwing deep to the left side. Risky throw. It's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Watson. And the Bengals take over once again after forcing his 4th interception of the night. Offense showing trips out right as they get set for this 1st and 10. Now it's Purdy. Buys time, rolling right. Oh, he was on the move, but so was the defense, and they take him down. And after 1 play, this drive might already be in trouble. That's going to push him back for 2nd down. We've reached the 2-minute warning in Santa Clara. Bengals holding just a 1-point advantage. Shotgun snap for Purdy. The left side is snapped by Bateman. And he'll go down after pushing this up to the 29. Now we get another stoppage here. Just 1:52 remaining. The defense burns a timeout. He'll throw it. Defender is there. He knocks it away, and that's going to force 4th down.
I'll tell you what, Kate, challenging this guy in a close game, you are tempting fate. He got 1 hand on it. He gets 2. It could have gone the other way.
to throw. He's got it to his running back. And they're all the way across midfield before he's brought down. Man, forget that was fourth down. That is an impressive 22-yard pickup on any play. And that gets him a first down. Oh, Brock, look at this. He's setting up to throw it. Escapes the puck, and he got there in time. He's taken down. Timeout called by Atlanta. That's going to be its second. Following the sack, they need a big chunk of yards here, Brock. It is second down and very long. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete.
I hate to be Mr. Negative guy, but a sack 2 plays ago, an incompletion right there. All that's missing, Kate, is an interception on this play, and you're going to hand this quarterback a misfortune trifecta that nobody wants.
And he's down. Looks like they made the stop at the 46-yard line. The Falcons take a timeout to their final one. That's all they had, so the offense free to start running the clock down now. Brian Anger getting the call on the fourth down punt. Oh, he nearly coffin cornered that one. Just a little too far, and it's out of the side of the end zone for a touchback. Offense into the shotgun set as they line this up. First and 10. Setting up to pass. Jump off caught by his back. Makes the tackle. And this is going to be a 4-yard gain. They're out to the 24.
Kate, I don't know why every once in a while I get these little flashbacks, but a little play like that just flashes me back to the preseason, my first preseason. And one of the veteran QBs said, hey, Brock, whatever you do, just find completions. You will never go broke taking a profit. Go get a completion. They're at a premium in this league. That's a defense's goal, right, Kate? Just get us to third down so we can have a chance to get off the field. And that was a good adjustment on that stop in particular, when the back ended up being the target, and they were able to keep him short of the sticks.
Maybe a bit of desperation. That could be it, folks. It's intercepted. Picked off by Jalen Watson. And the Bengals make the play that should win them this game. Well, that should pretty much shut down throwing his way anymore, Brock. This guy has ended each of their last 2 drives by himself with an interception.
And that's kind of the price you pay when you're playing phenomenal ball as a defender. I can remember Aaron Rodgers, primetime game, said, I'm not even throwing once, and didn't attack Richard Sherman one time that game.
And the 4th time, the charm for the city of Cincinnati, Brock. They've finally done it. The Bengals are Super Bowl champions. They made it through the regular season perfect. They advanced through those 2 playoff games. And now, Brock, now they can officially call themselves just the 2nd undefeated team in NFL history. Only them and those 72 Dolphins have ever claimed that piece of football immortality.
It's pretty wild, isn't it, Kate? Over half a century since we saw a team make it through an entire season undefeated. And in this modern NFL, remember, they played 20 games a season, at least 20 games. So we'd wondered if we'd ever see it happen again, but here we are. Witnesses to history and witnesses to one of the best football teams ever assembled.